Gopi jana vallabha girivardha Jaya Gopi jana vallabha girivardha Yasodanandana Raja Janardana Yasodanandana Raja Janardana Yamuna tira vanachari Yamuna tira vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi jana vallabha girivardha Jaya Gopi jana vallabha girivardha Yasodanandana Brajajanarandana Yasodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamuna tera vanachari Yamuna tera vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jai Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Lalita Visakha, Lalita Visakha, Lalita Visakha, Jaya Lalita Visakha. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Go Shitana Premanande. Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Shrimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Prabhupada Saitanya Prakasha Gitivacha Charan Kirvanshali Pati Maha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Jnanantimirandasya Jnanam Jnana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shiguro Shijuta Padakamalam Shigurum Vaishnavamscha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaniswari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripashindubhya evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, translation and purport by our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. chapter 4 of the Adi Lila, the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. We have 2 slokas today together, 15 and 16. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prema Rasa Nirasa Karite Asbadhana Prema Rasa Nirasa Karite Asbadhana Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karita Pracharana Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharana Rasika Sekara Krishna Parama Karuna Rasika Sekara Krishna Parama Karuna Eiduwe hete haite ichara udgama Eiduwe heto haite ichara udgama Prema rasa niryasa korite aspadana Raga Marga Bhakti Loge Karite Pracharana Rasika Shikara Krishna Parama Karuna Idui Hito Haiti Ichara Udhama Prema Rasa Niryasa Karite Ashbadana Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharana Rasika Sekara Krishna Parama Karuna Eiduwe hete haite ichara udgama. Mataji's. Prema rasa niryasa karite aspadana Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharana Rasika Sekara Krishna Parama Karuna Eiduwe heta haite ichara udgama Prema rasa niryasa karite aspadana Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharana Rasika Sekara Krishna Parama Karuna Eiduwe heto haite ichara udgama. Word for word meaning. Prema rasa of the mellow of love of God. Niryasa, the essence karite, to do. Ashvadana, tasting. Raga marga, the path of spontaneous attraction. Bhakti, devotional service. Loke, in the world. Karite, to do. Pracharana, propagation. Rasika Sekara, the supremely jubilant. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Parama Karuna, the most merciful. A, this. Dui, two. Hetu, reasons. Haite, from. Ichara, of desire. Udgama, the birth. Translation. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and He wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, He is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all. Everybody please repeat. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. And He wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, He is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all. Purport. During the period of Lord Krishna's appearance, the killing of asuras or non-believers such as Kamsa and Jarasandha was done by Vishnu, who was within the person of Sri Krishna. Such apparent killing by Lord Sri Krishna took place as a matter of course and was an incidental activity for Him. But the real purpose of Lord Krishna's appearance was to stage a dramatic performance of His transcendental pastimes at Brajabhumi, thus exhibiting the highest limit of transcendental mellow in the exchanges of reciprocal love between the living entity and the Supreme Lord. These reciprocal exchanges of mellows are called raga bhakti, or devotional service to the Lord in transcendental rapture. Lord Sri Krishna wants to make known to all the conditioned souls that He is more attracted by raga bhakti than vaidhi bhakti, or devotional service under scheduled regulations. It is said in the Vedas, Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, text 7, Raso Vaishaha. The absolute truth is the reservoir of all kinds of reciprocal exchanges of loving sentiments. He is also causelessly merciful, and He wants to bestow upon us this privilege of raga bhakti. Thus He appeared by His own internal energy. He was not forced to appear by any extraneous force. Prema rasa niryasa karite ashvadana raga marga bhakti loke karita pracharana rasika sekara krishna parama karuna Edua hitu haila ichara udgama. The supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, the main two reasons mentioned here in these two slokas, how he is known as the supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all. Lord Krishna doesn't have to come to the material world. He is extremely jubilant and blissful in this spiritual world, only enjoying his pastimes along with his eternal associates. Why does he have to come? For the benefit of the conditioned souls. We've heard from the Bhagavad Gita the reasons why he came from time to time, or why he is coming once in one day of Lord Brahma. To establish the principles of religion, because from time to time the principles of religion seems to vanish or diminish or become obsolete. To protect his devotees, paritanaya sadhunam, vinasaya sajuskritam, to annihilate the demons. But ultimately, the Shastra says, the Supreme Lord comes in order to attract the conditioned souls to go back home, back to Godhead. We are miserable. We are suffering extremely, scorching heat of the material forest of enjoyment. And we don't have any clue of what is real enjoyment, not until when the Supreme Lord, along with his eternal associates, will come. There is no hope for us if the Lord or his parisads or his eternal associates will come. There are two kinds of living beings. One is called Jivan Mukta. That means eternally liberated souls. And there is what you call Jiva, Nitya Badha. Nitya Badha. That means us. So from time to time, the Lord, along with his eternal associates, will come to exhibit the pastimes that's going on here in the material world. Sometimes, occasionally, these pastimes appears, and sometimes it doesn't appear. This is what you call naimitika lila. Nitya lila, always in the spiritual world. There is no lifting of Govardhan Hill in the spiritual world. There's no killing of the Agasura or Tinivarta or Putana or any of these demons. This is for us so that we'll have something to hear. The more we hear these pastimes, the more we become purified. So the Supreme Lord, he will come occasionally for these specific reasons. It says here, to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. That's why it says that the bhaktas sometimes considered to be greater than the Supreme Lord. It is not the position of the bhaktas, it is the love or the mellows exchanges between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. So bhakti is greater than the bhagavān because of the bhaktas' love and devotion towards Bhagavan. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically came 500 years ago to exhibit and show us how to become a devotee. God himself performs the role of a devotee to show the conditioned souls how we can revive our original loving relationships towards him. How merciful he is. We came here on our own choice. He says we want to become happy separate from the Supreme Lord. Okay, here is the material world. Go and try to enjoy. But is it possible? No way. We cannot understand the Supreme Lord through analytical way. We cannot experience this love of God externally. So the Supreme Lord, in order for Him to understand also what is it that Radharani's attraction. Why is it I'm attracted to Radharani? The Supreme Lord, who is the all-attractive, is attracted to His pure, unalloyed, the greatest servant, Srimati Radharani. Lord Krishna doesn't know how is this. He's not able to understand. And therefore, He will come from time to time, and not every Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibit this symptom of Braja Prem. Yes, every Kali Yuga. The Yuga Dharma is Harinam Sankirtan. But not every Kali Yuga that Braja Prem is being given freely. From time to time, Vaikuntha Prem. So we're very fortunate. 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna appeared, performed His pastimes, killing all of these demons. But it is not Krishna, according to here in this sloka, He's not the one who's killing them. He does not have that duty or role to kill the demons. It is the Vishnu expansion of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Krishna is considered, says that Swayam Bhagavān, pūrṇa bhagavān, 100% Bhagavan. But Lord Vishnu, none other than Krishna. But 96%? Is that, Maharaj, is that correct? Or 94%? Less. Not 100%. And then Lord Shiva, how many? 84? And then Lord Brahma, 78 or something. So, Lord Krishna will come from time to time to exhibit His pastimes for the benefit of the conditioned souls. And somehow or other, this apparent killing, says here, took place as a matter of course and was an incidental activity. That means naimitika. That means it's not all the time. In the spiritual world, demons are present only in the mind. Only in the mind. But it's not really actual. There's no actual killing of 2 or 3 demons every day. So here, it says that this transcendental pastimes in Brajabhumi exhibits the highest limit of transcendental mellow. In order for us to come to the platform of reviving our original loving exchanges with the Supreme Lord, the Shastras told us to follow sadhana-bhakti. In the material world, the conditioned souls have to follow this, sadhana-bhakti. And there are 2 parts in sadhana-bhakti, Vaidhi, sadhana, and Raganuga bhakti. Because it mentions here, Raga bhakti. The reciprocal exchanges of mellows are called Raga bhakti. For those who wish to go back home, back to Godhead, they took shelter. They should take shelter under the shelter of the bona fide spiritual master, who will guide us and who will tell us how to perform bhakti under rules and regulations. Vaidhi. Vaidhi comes from vidhi. Vidhi means following rules and regulations. One can attain his eternal form by following sadhana-bhakti. Then one can attain that sadhana-siddhi. There's another kind of personality who is not victimized, cannot be victimized by Maya. They're what you call eternally liberated souls. Nitya Siddha. So when the Lord comes, his associates would come with him also. They're Nitya Siddhas. But some out of following sadhana bhakti, then they also become Nitya Siddha. As we've heard from the 10th canto, not all of the gopis, they're all eternally liberated souls. Some of them were sages who saw Lord Ram. And because they became attracted to Lord Ram, that they took birth as gopis. So raga means, this is another part of sadhana bhakti. It's like the materialists. They're attracted to perform materialistic activities due to the illusion that they are enjoying. So that's the meaning of raga, the attachment. So devotees also, they're attached to Krishna, to serve Krishna. And the Brajabasis, they are the topmost devotees. Topmost examples whereby, according to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we should follow. They're performing this ragatmika bhakti. Spontaneous. They have spontaneous love for Lord Krishna. They don't even care whether Krishna is God or not. Whether he's Lord Vishnu or a demigod or a superhuman being, they don't care. They just want to love Krishna. They just want to increase their love for Krishna. So in the beginning stage, we do not have love. But it is there. It is there. It's like Prabhupada gave an example of striking two Arani woods. He keeps striking them, rubbing each other, then fire will come. So where does the fire came from? From the wood. Because of the friction. So similarly, if we maintain ourselves to follow strictly the rules and regulations given by the scriptures and the guru, the spiritual master, eventually this love will come. But we cannot force. We cannot force this spontaneous attraction towards Lord Krishna. It will happen. Shastra says automatically it will come. There was a story. Gorkisore Das Babaji Maharaj, because he is on the topmost level of love of God, is always chanting the holy name of the Lord, is always serving the Lord, even though considering himself to be illiterate. Doesn't know much intellectually. So he will be chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day, 24 hours a day. He's in love. So one tries to imitate him. There's one person who's trying to imitate him. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, no, this is not possible. We cannot imitate the Mahabhagavats. We cannot imitate those who have spontaneous love towards the Supreme Lord. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave an example, just like you enter a maternity clinic and there is one mother who's ready to give birth to a child. So the mother will be howling and also loudly in pain. So if you go into a maternity clinic and you imitate the howling and the pain, the crying and pain, but you're not supposed to have a child, will you have a child? It's not possible, isn't it? There must be some engagement between the husband and the wife to have a child. So similarly, we cannot force ourselves to be in this platform of Ragamarg, in the path of spontaneous attachment, loving sentiment towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We cannot go to Loy Bazaar and find different kinds of books of the Goswamis and read different very, very esoteric pastimes of the Supreme Lord. We cannot even read the Bhagavad Gita every day. You go to Loy Bazaar, it's like a boy going to a sweet shop. You know, a sweet shop. Oh, you see so many sweets. You're so much happy to see all of them. But how much can you eat? You'll get a toothache very soon. So there are many books written by the acharyas which we're warned not to also read them if we are not mature enough. But some of them were translated. We should read them also after some time when we come to our mature stage of bhakti. It's like one devotee, he gave me a whole set of Bhanu Swami's books, translation. There's Ujjwala Nilamani, Govinda Lilavrita. These are all very highly elevated books. We cannot comprehend that immediately. First, we have to learn the ABCs. Follow the process given to us by the acharyas. Step by step. The two parallel lines, Vaidhi Bhakti and Raga Bhakti. When we follow continuously the Vaidhi Bhakti, but we're not able to develop that loving sentiment towards the Supreme Lord in spontaneous attraction, one will go to Vaikuntha. When one develops a spontaneous attraction by the mercy of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, one will become enamored by this spontaneous love and will follow this raga. And he'll go to Goloka Vrindavan. That's why if you go to South India, there are many followers of Lakshmi Narayan. Yes? You've been to South India? Any of you? Yes? They are so much in love with Lakshmi Narayan. There's nothing wrong with that. But because we're followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are in this platform. Now, some say that Prabhupada only gave you bhakti in Vaidhi. That's why this is not enough for us. We want to go somewhere else where they're always talking about rasa. Is that true? Prabhupada did not give us the highest to go back to Goloka Vrindavan? No, it says here. Just read this Chaitanya Charitamrita. He'll give us love of God, the spontaneous love of God towards going back to Godhead. In the platform of loving the Supreme Lord just like the Brajavasis. But we are warned not to jump not to jump immediately. Some, they just want to hear the topics about these pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The esoteric pastimes, especially in the 10th canto. No. It is not just by hearing. We also have to perform practical seva, practical service. Without performing practical service, then we will not reach love of God. How do we measure our love for Krishna? How do we measure? Are we starting to develop that love? Or are we already on that platform? One of the ways how we can measure whether we have love for Krishna or not is feeling of negativity in terms of my love towards Krishna. The more we think and feel that I don't have love for Krishna, that means I have a little bit of love for Krishna. The more we think I have attained love of Krishna already, that means no. You don't reach that far. You have zero, maybe negative. And the more we think like that, the more there is a tendency or prone for us to become offensive, because we'll become proud. When we become proud, this is our greatest enemy, pratishta. This is our main disease, pratishta. Main disease is not attraction towards the opposite sex. The Mayavadis, they can easily get rid of that also. Name, fame, opulence. But the most grievous, the most difficult to give up is one's misidentifying himself to be in the level where he is not supposed to be. This is how we can measure. The more we think that I don't have any qualification at all to serve the Supreme Lord, we will attract Krishna in this way. The more we think, I am useless, but I will try my best, I will do my best to serve the Supreme Lord. And one way how we can also measure how we are developing love for Krishna is, how am I developing my good relationship with his devotees? Am I getting along with other devotees? Am I jealous of other devotees? Am I criticizing other devotees? So we can measure also ourselves how we're making advancement in Krishna consciousness in developing love for Krishna. And sometimes, though, we should check our friends, devotees, and ask them, Mataji, can you tell me something about myself? Do you think I'm making advancement? What is it that you see from me that I need to improve? Can you tell me something that I need to get rid of? Can you? Do you ask that sometimes to your devotee friends? Maybe. Maybe not. If you are doing it, then that means there's a room for improvement. If you think that you are already perfect in your service, and you don't have anything else to improve, that means you will not make advancement. That means you're going in a different direction. You're going in the wrong direction here. So, let me read this again. Krishna is more attracted by raga bhakti than vaidhi bhakti, or devotional service under scheduled regulations. So how to attain that raga bhakti? Even great personalities, to show us the example, they perform this process of following the rules and regulations externally, but inside they are seeing Krishna face to face. 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada, his Guru Maharaj, but they will never talk about this different rasa lilas. No, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would often read and discuss Dhruva Maharaj lila or Prahlad Maharaj lila in public. In public. When he went to Radhakund, he had a discourse or a series of discourses in that sangam between Radhakund and Shyamakund. You've been there, right? In Radhakund, that place where in the early days we've heard that Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they used to go down and go out from the other side, go and immerse themselves in Radhakund, and then go out in Shyamakund, and then from Shyamakund, let me go like that Sangha. So he discussed, besides Srimad Bhagavatam there, specifically he discussed the Shri Upadeshamrita, nectar of instruction, a nectar of instruction. And the Radhakund Babajis, they thought, what is this? Why are we hearing this? We want higher than this. We thought that he is a Manjari. We thought that he is very highly elevated souls. How is it that he is discussing this? So somehow or other, you can tell a person, yes, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the way how we can measure ourselves whether we are advancing is our eagerness to hear, but not the rasa lila. Every day, Bhagavatam class. Every day we have Bhagavad Gita class. Every day we have kirtan here. So hearing and chanting, yes, we can measure ourselves whether we are making advancement or not. If we are having other priorities or other attention besides this, then we are not advancing that much the way we should be. So, this is attainable. Prabhupada says, it is not impossible. It is possible, but it is difficult. Why is it difficult? Because we have to perform austerities. We have to perform tapasya. And the greatest tapasya in this day and age is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have to admit ourselves to ourselves that it is not so easy to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, especially in the japa. Some devotees, they like kirtan, but they should also be liking japa. Both. Japa, if you're good in your japa, you'll be good in kirtan. Whatever we do the whole day reflects about how we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I was reading a book by His Holiness Kadambakanana Swami regarding this japa. He says that it's like before chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it's like we have to think about, I'm going to fight. This is a big fight against the mind. Because the mind is so tricky that we will think of anything else besides Krishna while chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I was reading the other day also about this book of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Vaishnava Ke. It talks about the mind. Because the mind is so tricky. What kind of Vaishnava are you? You are chanting in a secluded place, but you are only thinking of women and money. And prestige again. Like there was a story of Prabhupada also, the disciples, they went to Krishna Balaram tree to chant japa. Prabhupada says, no, call them back. You will not find Krishna in that way. You chant with the devotees. That is a highly elevated platform to chant in a secluded place or alone. Just for name and fame, yes. Haridas Thakur can do that. Raghunath Das Goswami can do that. The Goswamis, they can do that. The 6 Goswamis. But there are times also when they are converging with each other and talk about Harikatha, Krishna Katha. So, this is just the beginning of this Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says also that if we immerse ourselves with Gaura Lila, then soon enough we will also attain love of God. So Prabhupada gave us everything. He didn't leave anything that we will miss in order to attain love of God, just like that of the Brajabasis. Hare Krishna. Okay, stop here. Any points? Any questions? Jai. Who raised the hands first?
Thank you. Krishna can do anything he likes. And Krishna can do anything he likes, so we can't challenge him. But I always...
He can do whatever he likes, and cannot challenge him.
It's not loud enough? So, I always wonder, talking about the internal, the Nitya Siddhas and the Nitya Bandhas. So the Nitya Siddhas can never experience, not at all attracted to happiness and pleasure and misery in this material world. Now the Nitya Siddhas are never attracted, right? But the Nitya Bandhas, we can experience those. So Krishna can do what he likes, but somewhere in the back of my mind I'm always thinking, that's not quite fair.
What is not fair?
That we have the ability or the tendency to fall down and experience misery.
That is fair, because if you don't, Prabhupada says, if you don't feel the pain, then you cannot feel being cured.
So the pleasure of the cure is worth the pain?
That's right. So if you don't feel sufferings, then there is no way of happiness. You cannot feel the happiness. So material world was created for us to reform ourselves, to learn that, hey, there is no happiness here. Let me get out of here. And as soon as we realize that, Krishna will send the bona fide guru to help us get out of this material world. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya says that eventually everyone in the material world will go back home, back to Godhead. Eventually. Now it may take others longer, and it may take others sooner. It depends on when we realize that I'm not supposed to be here. Let me get out. So, but one may say, oh, what's going to happen to the world? It'll be empty? No. Prabhupada says no. Continuously there are others who would like to enjoy separate from Krishna. So there'll be no way that the world will become free from having conditioned souls. So the question is, do we want to stay here longer, or we want to get out of here as soon as possible? We have to follow by the sadhana-bhakti. Then we can get out of here. And we cannot expedite. We can, if we get the mercy, there's what you call another one, kripa siddhi. Kripa siddhi means by the mercy, by the blessings of the sadhus, the Vaishnavas, the acharyas, we can get out of here quickly. But that is very rare. For most of us, we have to follow. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Shuri Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. As you're saying, we want to expedite it and do as quickly as possible, but some
Yes.
people think, why should I wait around inviting bhakti? Let me just imagine myself in Krishna's lila, and some people even jump the wall at the Seva Kunj to enter into Krishna's lila in the nighttime.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to work out well for them.
No. You know, you want to expedite?
Yes,
Engage in Sankirtan.
yes.
Engage in spreading the holy name. Engage in book distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books. That's how you can do it. Expedite. You cannot go to Seva Kunj or what's that? Nidhivan.
Vrindavan.
It's not allowed to stay there at night. Either you go crazy or you'll be found dead the next day.
There's two types of living entities, Nitya Siddha and Nitya Baddha. And you said that Nitya Baddha, by performance of Sankirtan and surrender, can become a Nitya Siddha. So that's almost a play on words. In the case Nitya Siddha means never falls down, but then one who has fallen down all of a sudden is freed from being in that category of being fallen to promoted to a Nitya Siddha category. So it's just a little bit, complicated.
Yeah, it is actually, in the sense, everyone is the Nitya Siddha. But somehow we have forgotten Krishna. Somehow. I was reading the other day, there was a class that I gave in North America. Prahlad Maharaj is a partly sadhana siddha and nitya siddha. Look at Prabhupada also, to show us example. He's a nitya siddha, but then he has to tell us, and he's doing it himself, getting up early in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He says, sadhana siddha, partly nitya siddha. Look at Narad Muni. Narad Muni is also nitya siddha. But at the same time, he has to follow. He has to hear from the Bhaktivedantas. He has to serve them.
In other words, just chant Hare Krishna.
So, in a sense, we have to follow this the way, but we cannot compare ourselves. Oh, they're partly nitya siddha, but they're sadhana siddha also. No. Don't think ourselves as nitya siddha. No. Think ourselves as really low, lowest of the low. Prabhupada says we have to think ourselves to be lowest of the low, then we will become humble. Then we will attract Lord Krishna. Then we will attain love of God. Is that okay? Karbajan Prabhu. Okay, well, here, one last question. Hare Krishna. You're a good
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for a beautiful lecture, just like your voice. Maharaj, you mentioned that Raganuga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti. Sometimes some outsiders who belong from another sampradayas, they think that by seeing us that we are chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulative principles and following Ekadasi Vrat, all this, they feel that they are in lower state and we are in Raganuga stage. So one of my boss is also in same consciousness that how to deal with that person and how to make understand that we are not just on this only Vaidhi Bhakti. We have also process of Raganuga Bhakti, but at the beginning stage we follow the Vaidhi Bhakti and then we go to the Raganuga Bhakti. So how to make them understand? Hare Krishna.
You can tell them that we're following our acharyas. We are under this disciplic succession, and this is the process we're told to do. And hope against hope, someday we'll have that greed like you. There's no way that one can immediately come to that platform of Raganuga without following Vaidhi. It's not possible. This is very special case. When you get this spontaneous love coming from, let's say, Krishna, Kubja attain, that platform, Kamanuga. She's lusty, but that lust became love. So it's not possible. You just tell them, okay, you do what as you like, we do what we are supposed to do. Okay, you can tell us that we are the lowest. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Don't waste your time with them. It's like talking to a born-again Christian. You're just wasting your time. Okay?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Karbajan Prabhu, you have something to say? Okay, give him the mic, please.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, reading of the books, Prabhupada gave so many books to us.
So many books.
Prabhupada has given to
Prabhupada's
us.
books, yeah.
And we are reading those books. It takes a lot of time to read Prabhupada's books only. Then how can we read other books? Leaving Prabhupada books and reading other books.
You go to VIHE and MIHE. Then you will be able to read other books under the guidance of an advanced devotee. Okay, you want to study Prabhupada's books immediately? You go to MIHE, Mayapur Institute of Higher Education, and VIHE, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. Then you'll study Prabhupada's books very deeply.
Prabhupada said everything I've given in my books.
Yeah.
So we have to.
But when you become advanced enough, then this will be revealed to you, the other books.
Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Go Siddhanath Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.